Ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Welcome back to the COD Ireland stream. Hope you never left, but if you are back, welcome back. And we are going to be getting underway now very shortly with game number 2 of the evening, the final game of the evening, as we move up to the Division 1 for Fluxx Esports taking on Insufficient Funds. Should be an absolutely cracking game between both of these teams. Fluxx Esports, a team that'll be hoping to take it all the way, but Insufficient Funds, one thing that is for certain is that they are no slouches themselves, so it should make for an absolutely incredible game, and I cannot wait to get into it. Should be a lot of fun. I hope you will all enjoy the journey we are about to go on watching these two teams, and I hope you were here as well for the previous game that we had, game 1, where we did see Deny Gaming take on KP Minions and give a bit of a shock at one point, coming away with the Search and Destroy in round 11, map number 2, but ultimately KP's Minions just were completely dominant on the respawn modes and made quick work of Deny Gaming, a team who down in Division 2 themselves are also looking like they could be on their way to winning everything. Are we potentially featuring on broadcast tonight two of the winners of the respective divisions? It is very possible, but of course when you get to playoffs, truly anything can happen, and just really looking forward to getting into both these games and seeing what these teams have to offer each other. But before we do that, let's take a little look at how these teams have shaped up in terms of the bracket. So, as you can see, games have already been getting underway. Red Hots, unfortunately, having to forfeit given unfortunate time commitments. Faceless Esports managing to beat out Fresh Milk, a team who themselves, Faceless, will be thinking they could win the whole thing. Will be really confident, and they will be a team that Fluxx Esports will be looking to beat. That is for certain. And it's shaping up super interestingly here. And the loser of this one, I believe, will go on to play against Team Renowned, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm reading that, it's very small on my end, so apologies if I'm reading it wrong, but that is how it'll be. And let's take a quick little gander at the head-to-head between both of these teams. Let's see how they've shaped up against each other. And I have to say, folks, it is very even looking, but there's one thing that we have to take into consideration, right? So Fluxx are 7-2, 23-10 on the map count, with 70% and 21 points. But however, one of those losses, a contentious loss, they would argue, to say the least, on top of then a loss coming their way due to a forfeit of a game because it wasn't completed in time. So barely a loss on their record, realistically, when you look at the games actually played. On the side of Insufficient Funds, haven't seen them as much, but a record that is very similar. 7-2 in the win and loss, 21-9 on the map count, also 70% of the map win percentage, leading to 21 points. Ultimately looking very equal on both sides, but of course, Fluxx Esports will feel like the favorites given how they've played, given the group they've come from, a very difficult group. So it could be an absolute bang out, this one. We will soon see. Now, without further ado, folks, before we get into the maps and modes screen, let's actually take a quick look at the maps that we will be playing in this one, as we will be getting into the lobby as well very quickly in just a few moments. So we have map number 1, which is going to be a Skyline Hardpoint, and we're going to go very quickly through these because these teams are eager to go. So we will rush through as quick as we can. We have Skyline. We then move on to Protocol Search and Destroy, which should be an incredibly fun map to say the least. And if we get past, I say if, there is going to be no if, because of course map 3 you actually do play. It just shows my head is that, folks. But map number 3, it'll be a cheeky little vault control. And then if we make it further, folks, we move on to Hacienda. Once again, getting to see Hacienda in a cheeky little hard point. And then if we go all the way to map number 5, we will be heading for the vault for the final time for Search and Destroy. Ladies and gentlemen, those are your maps and modes. Don't go anywhere. We're rushing to get set up in this lobby so we can get going ASAP. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Map number 1 about to get underway as we are loading in to Skyline for a cheeky little bit of Hardpoint, a map that will be a whole lot of fun to say the least. We always love a little bit of Skyline Hardpoint. It's hectic, it's fast paced, and you've got to be warm when playing this map, so we will see who's going to start off the warmest in this one. Best of luck to both of these teams as we get into this. Fluxx Esports versus Insufficient Funds. A massive game in round 1. The winners round 1 of Division 1 of the COD Ireland League. All comes down to this. So without further ado, here we go. We are going to start on board with Murphy on the side of Fluxx Esports. Show us what you got. Looking to move very quickly onwards in the map. Again, folks, apologies if there's a slight variation in the way the colors look there. I can maybe see about getting that fixed after the game. You've got an orangey red and you've got a purpley purple. I'm sure we can do the rest from there. As so far, a checkerboard kill feed that ultimately does go the way of Fluxx is Ben W picking up a nice 2, or I believe it may have been Lampy if this Codcaster is going to be giving us the same issues it normally likes to give, but Lampy currently sitting underneath kind of at the gym just by the pool, you know, kind of sipping in the view as he picks up another kill. And so far, a great performance from him as he's going to chase up the stairs. The calls were in, but it doesn't matter as he gets absolutely ripped there, Hectic. And Lampy so far with a phenomenal start. Fluxx on the point, 4-0. Lampy going to be looking to continue to pop off as they are controlling the spawns now as well. And this has been a fantastic start from them on a map where, as I said, loading into it, you really do need to be firing in all cylinders for it to be able to go your way. And they absolutely are here, Fluxx. Definitely started out the warmer team. Insufficient Funds are chasing, and are they going to be able to get into this game? Again, we were about to switch player, but he instantly died. That's just showing the way that this one is going, that Fluxx are the ones that are on that kill board, just rinsing through their opposition as Lampy already getting ready to move through. He's got that P3 control already and he's just getting ready for the flank, but Insufficient Funds, credit to them, they were ready for the read and are going to be trying to get round the back into this point. So far, Fluxx have been cleaning up house, 46-6, but eventually Insufficient Funds get pushed onto the point and are going to try and hold this one through the front, but Ben W with a huge 2, eventually getting taken out, but Lampy with another in the point, and the kills just coming in waves for Fluxx, who, as soon as they find themselves in a little bit of trouble, they alleviate that trouble as quickly as they can. Lampy on the hold now. 4P3. Fluxx been completely dominating. They just know exactly where people are. Murphy about to pick up another and does, and that is clean from Murphy to say the least. Hectic picking up one, getting round the back. Gonna try and do something here, but I mean Fluxx just loving this map at the moment. Hectic just trying to hold Salty on the point. Double positive as well, with over a minute in the point. Doing the Lord's work when it comes to the OBJ. And now flanking around the back to guarantee spawns. Has the reads, but doesn't have the kill. Lofty picking up one, who started off a little bit slow. Will be looking to try and warm up, of course, a roster who did make sure to let me know that they haven't actually played together since the Christmas break. So far, unfortunately for them, a believable factoid to say the least. As Salty picks up one. I believe it would have been Ben W who picked that one up. Slim finding the team nade. It's Ben W going to get pushed on all fronts. Get taken out, but again, it matters little as Fluxx Esports ultimately, they're just able to get around that point so simply. 105-24, and so far putting a statement down here as the team to beat in this division. 114-24. Continuing to pop off here. Pushing out, just absolutely slaying. A dominant performance to say the least. One that I'm not sure if many people would have seen coming, but you know, Fluxx Esports, they want to show people. They want to show people that they're here for the win, that they're here to stay. And that we should all be very scared of them. And I gotta say, folks, if I was a team playing against Fluxx right now, I'd be shaking in my boots. As Salty with 2, or Ben W with 2, Lampy with 1. And continuing to dominate here, 141-24. Insufficient Funds just having this insufficient means to be able to do anything in this position. And I have to say that the chat has been absolutely goated today on this stream. I got to give a lot of credit to the chat here because yous are throwing me for a loop here. I keep looking over and trying not to laugh. You know, yous are we comedians here 2025, huh? The New Year's resolution was be funny, was it? Fair play to yous all, as insufficient funds get a little bit of time, but there's the definition of the littlest bit. Little teeny tiny bit. But Lofty with 2, Hectic with 1. Now the opportunity to get towards the point. But it looks like they're going to just try and hold out for P2. They need multiple clean 60s. But a clean 60 would be something that would be a massive help for them. And again, you know, as I was saying, we're seeing hype for Fluxx in the chat here as well. It's Fluxx boy. I really wonder who you support. But you know, it shows the level of some of these Fluxx players as well. Truly are some of Ireland's kind of top level players, to say the least, that are in and around Fluxx. Built a really good team, strong Irish organization. Definitely players to watch. And I'm sure players who, if they do decide to come back for Season 2, will be looking to make themselves a staple of this league, to say the least. And definitely a team who I could imagine would want to make their way to the COD Ireland LAN. More information, of course, on that will come in the coming months because, as I said, folks, we are in talks. LAN talks are swiftly underway as it's now 193 to 34. And this is an absolute decimation that is occurring before our very eyes at the moment here as Fluxx continuing to show the levels here in Division 1. Showing why they're a team who wants to win it all. Now with the hold. Ben W on the chase. He's got the pistol out. Truly looking to do the damage here. Insufficient funds. They're on the point. But for how long? Xavi with the hold. With this game already practically being done, it is just a case of setting yourself up in a way where you can go into game number 2 in the best way possible. Salty up around the top. 220 to 56. The 100-point club is very much looking like it will be on. Lampy up top with the hold. Insufficient funds have gotten the scrap. Credit to them. But an impossible task ahead of them. An insurmountable mountain. As Xavi trying to hold with the pre-fire coming in. Salty, had you read the bread and butter, knew exactly where you were. And 1 minute 50 in the point as well. Salty been doing a great job for his side. Meanwhile, Ben W raining hell from above with the Hellstorm. 1 minute 34 on point as well. 23 and 18 continuing to pop off here. Insufficient funds are looking like they will be able to get past the 100 points. But that really is about it in terms of this game. They have gotten warmer. You have players beginning to pop off. Hectic 28 and 20. A great score for him given how this game has gone. And 222 to 107 now. Fluxx going to be looking to get this one done on P1 as they do have complete control. However, with these spawns and with the control of top, insufficient funds could do the damage. However, you do have, I believe it is Ben W playing his life there immaculately well. Now going to be able to rain down on this point. Gets one before getting taken out. And as someone who lives just 40 minutes from Letterkenny, I gotta say, what's in Letterkenny is probably the most accurate comment I've seen all night in the stream chat, folks. I really do have to say that. Apologies to all my Letterkennians. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. Hup A to you. Hup A to you. Back in my day, it was LYAT. Where do you think I got my law degree? Is Ben W getting the push onto this point. We'll try and wrap this one up. Insufficient funds have made the comeback a little bit, but you can't help but feel that's because the foot was taken off the gas pedal, and just like that, 248 to 112. As soon as I'm about to round out the game, it always just extends it a little bit longer, but that is surely that, or is it even? As it's absolutely not. We'll be going to the next point, but Is there anyone even rotated for that? It's Insufficient Funds who are rotated, and they do not want to let this game go. Credit to them. Absolutely credit to them. We're going to try and bring this deficit to within 100 points with a strong hold. But that's a big 2 coming in. Surely now the push that does the job. You would think is Zavi trying to hold out, but that's a clean wipe. Ladies and gentlemen, 250 to 133. 250 to 133. You can hear as well the chats going on in the team chat. Forgot to turn that off. We're going to turn that off right now because I'm scared of you all. I'm scared of you all. You're gonna get us banned. Did I make sure to actually turn that off properly? I did. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, what a fantastic game we're after having on our hands there. Great job, everyone, as they said in the chats. Fluxx Esports getting the job done with relative ease, it has to be said. 250 to 133, and they are looking very strong and could do a lot of damage in this series. As we get the music turned back on, and we'll get ourselves switched over to this map mode screen where you can indeed see that Fluxx Esports have come away with map number 1, but plenty of maps to go. There's plenty of time for this to continue to get even more interesting. But of course, as broken as private lobbies are right now, it's crashed after the game, as it does all the time. So we need to get restarted and we need to get ourselves ready to go for the next map. And we will get ourselves loaded up, get ready to go back into this one. And folks, I gotta say, really happy with how this one's going. Really happy that you're all here. And while we get loaded back into the game, I want to come over and take a little quick look at the chat here. Been seeing the chat absolutely pop off. We want land money cams. Land money cams. If we can do it, we will. And if close Letterkenny, I was going to say if there's a COD event there, I go to it. It's not going to be Letterkenny. I'll tell you that for free. And it's not going to... It's definitely not going to be in Letterkenny. Stop saying my name. It's tweaking me out. I'm going to absolutely say your name all the time, Ben W. There's 2 of you, but which one am I saying? You or the better one? I'm kidding. That's really mean. Please, you're a mod. You have too much power. I can't be mean. I've got a law degree too. Big up Cormac. Hey, law degrees. We love law degrees. Absolutely love them. Okay. We're not quite ready to go in just yet to the next game, but I wanna take you back, folks, to the head-to-head that we had the opportunity to see here, and it just does show the levels that sometimes are on display. Because I mean, the stats, they did the kit to you very even, but as you can see from the teams, you can see from what Fluxx want to bring to the table, it's not as even as they would like it. Insufficient Funds, they're trying their best, but Fluxx Esports were a level above in that game, and they'll be looking to continue to dominate. And also, folks, one thing I want to say really quickly right here, right now. First of all, thank you all very much to those who've been following. Thank you all as well to the people who have subscribed, as we are now affiliated here on Twitch. Really do appreciate that. But also, what do you think of the new graphics? We sort of rebranded a little bit with the graphics for the streams, and I hope you are all enjoying them. I really do hope you're all enjoying the graphics. I spent a lot of time working on these over Christmas. And there also should be alert notifications popping up, but I'm not sure if they are. If they are, I'm missing every single one, but there should be a notification things up here. In fact, I can trial run it right now because I have Stream Elements open. It's supposed to look like this. As you see up there, it's supposed to look like that. And there's also supposed to be an in-game one, but they're not working, I don't think. Let me know if they are or not. But we'll see. Why not Letterkenny? There was a COD LAN there a few years ago. Transportation, really. Don't get me wrong, it would be easy for me, but like if we set up in a Cork, a Dublin, a Belfast, you have access for everyone. Whereas if you're looking to do kind of a high tier COD LAN, you're really limited on transport options to Letterkenny. That will be the big issue, because we'd be looking to run a LAN that has the budget and the production beyond just kind of renting out a hall and 8 PCs, you know. So yeah, I mean, as Chassis is saying there, if always a plan, there should be a little tester LAN in a couple of months, then a more proper one later in the year. Should be still during BO6. Yeah, so that's exactly true. We're hoping to get a tester LAN done and then from there move on to a main LAN in that we'll be doing in collaboration with another event, which we hope will get off the ground, and then hopefully on top of that then would do our own independent LAN, as in booking our own venue. Those are the 3 pillars that we're hoping to hit this year. We think 2 of them will be good to hit, and the one with renting our own venue is sort of it's one that I'm actually scoping out right now. I'll be going to view a venue in a couple of weeks, but it's a very early ongoing process, but hopefully we can get something sorted there. And folks, I'm going to take you back to this screen right now as we're going to get ready to get set up, so don't go anywhere, as map number 2 will be getting underway in just a couple of moments. Ladies and gentlemen, map number 2 about to get underway as we head over to Protocol for a little bit of search and destroy. A map that, you know, in my experience of seeing Fluxx, they're very strong in this map. So it's going to be a difficult outing for Insufficient Funds, to say the least. But we've had one upset on broadcast and search and destroy today, so potentially could have another on the way. We will soon see. But best of luck to both of these teams as we get into this one. Protocol search and destroy. We start on board with Xavi, round number 1. And what will be the play? That's the $1 million question. How are they going to shape up in this first attacking round? So far, seemingly going to push quick towards this B. Maybe going to get around the back here. Xavi in a position to do some damage here. He's going to pick up 1 on the flank. Is he going to check up high, though? He isn't, and he's going to get kind of done from all over, making it a 2v3 scenario. That bomb still around B. You got Lampy about to engage. Picking up that one. Now 1v3. Can't go up the zip line because there's a gun on the way. That happened to me recently, and that was really annoying. That was really annoying. Oh, with the dive. My God. Off the top rope. Love to get the chance to watch a bit of WWE from time to time. Ultimately the kill, though, coming in from who I gotta say is, this seems nameless really on our screen at the moment, but there you go. Insufficient Funds being lied to on the screen, making you think that they've won that round. They in fact haven't. Fluxx Esports coming away with the first round, and coming away with it relatively confidently, it has to be said, as we move on to round number 2. Now going to see how Fluxx operate on the attack. Ben W. I'll keep saying the name to throw off my admin, watching out the right. The kills coming in. 3v2 now. Insufficient Funds in a good position to pick up a round. Xavi pulling back, playing careful. Murphy just waiting up top house, waiting for the pick. Pick's coming in, but making it a 2v1, leaving Murphy all on his own. Lonely Oli Olsum. And I have to say as well, Ben W, the other Ben W in the chat, mentioning the Telegraph building, renting that for a lad. That would be epic. One thing for certain, that place is that cold that you wouldn't need to invest in cooling the equipment. The equipment, if anything, will act as heat, and I was there for a gig a year ago. Went to see Nothing But Thieves, one of my favourite bands. And Jesus, the place is Baltic. There's Murphy, going to try and win this 1v2. Gets not one nice pick. Now all of a sudden up to Xavi. Oh! Xavi with the shots and letting him know with that pistol. Murphy was in a great position to get the 2, but now Xavi's letting Murphy know who's boss. Shooting bodies. Murphy taking off the pedestal. And Xavi going to get that defuse, and Insufficient Funds going to take this round 2, evening it all back up, 1 apiece. And appreciate the follow coming in as well a couple of minutes ago from Fluffy. Folks, I've been seeing you all follow. I've been missing the shouts out for them. I've been missing the shouts, but I appreciate you nonetheless coming with the follow. And remember, if you do want to support as well, you can subscribe to COD Ireland. It helps us run everything, and it will be very helpful for the LAN as well, any support that we can get. As funding for a LAN, let's just say one of the venues that we're looking at, if we want to run a 3-day LAN, it's probably going to be a 4-figure sum. So, for the love of God, help us please subscribe, as we're on board with Lofty in a 2v4, quickly taken out. And I feel like that's a round if you would have blinked and missed it. Fluxx come away with another round. Nameless, once again picking up that kill. His name isn't Nameless, that the game is deciding that he's going to be nameless. An enigma, to say the least. I imagine it was salty if with him being nameless, given how this game does like to bug. And, you know, reading this chat, knowing that it's a minute behind is very funny. Shooting bodies never ends well, says Atomic. That just came through. And a very, very apt comment there. The trade's coming in. 3v3. Hectic round. Xavi staying up. 3v3. How is this going to play out? The bomb going down. The underground has been locked down. Insufficient Funds know what they have to do. Whether or not they can do it, that is the million-dollar question. It looks like it could be a heavy hit from middle. No one really opting for the underground pushes. And in terms of elevator, but Xavi with a huge first blood in this particular gunfight, and Xavi's been getting some beamers, but Ben W with 1. Xavi going to try and pick up another. He absolutely does, and he's going to turn. He has the reads. Is he going to pick it up? He does. Xavi going absolutely huge on a 4 streak. 7 and 2, shooting bodies, and he is feeling himself right now, not missing a shot with that weapon of choice. And Paddy in as well. Paddy with the X. PXCDY in with the Prime subscription. Appreciate you. Your subscription does go a long way. Really appreciate it. And apologies that the alerts don't seem to be coming up for these subscriptions. I have them set up, so I have no idea why they're not coming up. Hopefully that's something that I can get fixed for y'all as soon as possible. Maybe they come up on a minute delay. Maybe I'm completely missing them. I don't know. They should be popping up in the little square in the bottom right where the COD Ireland logo is. They should be popping up there. But maybe with the minute delay, it messes it up. I don't know. But regardless, Insufficient Funds want to take an offensive round. A bit of unfortunate timing there, meaning Lofty can't pick up that kill. Going to have to rotate out. But First Blood going the way of Insufficient Funds via Hectic. But I thought he was going to get traded out there. Doing a great job of playing his life. Ben W up top now, though, and Fluxx in positions to pick up kills. But credit to Insufficient Funds, they're playing their lives well. Ben W is going to check the wrong corner, get taken out by Hectic. And Hectic trying to pick up 1. Doesn't happen. And the kill's coming in, though, for Insufficient Funds, meaning they take another round. Absolutely love to see it for Insufficient Funds. They are enjoying their search and destroy here at the moment. And we'll be looking to continue to pop off. Faceless 1, Div 1. I don't know where you heard that. Listen, what I will say about Insufficient, or what I'll say about Fluxx Esports and say about Faceless, they both finished 7 and 2. But that also includes forfeits and situations wherein it happened if you take out the forfeits, you take out the map count, I believe Faceless still would have won by a map or two. But also Fluxx Esports earlier in the season were taking it easy in certain games, as I'm sure they would admit to. So all in all, the two very evenly poised teams, or either one could have ended up top. Probably the tightest split in the entire COD Ireland League between those two. Slim trying to stay up. Fluxx just not at the races here. Ben now the last alive, and Insufficient Funds taking another round. And just not happening here now for Fluxx. If Insufficient Funds continue to pop off. I think you might have messed the alerts when you were doing the new overlay. They're new alerts for the overlay, which is bizarre as to why they don't work. But I will see what I can do. Because, yeah, we're supposed to be having beautiful overlay. In fact, I can show you right now what that alert's supposed to look like, because I can test it. And the test alerts work. Look, follower event, check bottom right. See? It's supposed to say someone followed, but it's not working. Why not? Ben W, or Lampy, I believe, with the huge first blood there. A big first blood for Fluxx Esports. They absolutely needed this. Lampy pushing low. Xavi at 1, evening it up. But Lampy could go huge. Shaky shots. Lampy's in trouble. He's pinned in. He gets up the zip. And he's going to pre. Done a great job of getting away with his life there. That was close. Some shaky shots. Nearly detrimental. But playing his life. 3v3. And the bomb down. Xavi now on the move. Moving together. Birds of a feather stick together. Big Eilish told me that. As Lofty, not just picking up 1, picking up 2, now making it a 3v1, and Fluxx Esports. I'd say it's 6s and 7s, but there's only a 6 left, and it's Lampy, who picks up 1 despite the shaky shots. Will quickly get traded out, though. And Insufficient Funds popping off, making it 5-2. And within touching distance of pulling this series back at 1 apiece. Another shock search and destroy on the cards here. Who would have saw this coming? Not me. But was it you? I don't know. I'm going to stop talking like this as we move on to round number 8. Insufficient Funds just 1 round away. A defensive round at that, where you've had Xavi just popping off 12 and 3. Going to rush out quick with that sub. Risking life and limb, but just suffering life-wise because of it. And the trades coming in, leaving us in a 2v2. We've missed so many of the gunfights this map, and I only apologise for that, folks. As Lampy with a huge kill, leaving Hectic alive. Hectic picks up 1, though, and just like that, we're in a 1v1 scenario where Lampy's going to need to pick up a bomb. Hectic at the spot, but he's shot. He shot early. He's got the spot. He's got the head glitch, but he doesn't have the shots. Huge moment for Fluxx to take that round. Absolutely huge. Those shots needed to be slick. And they were. Barely a bullet missed. I can't speak. As Insufficient Funds once again being lied to on our screens. Not picking up that round. And we are moving on to round number 9. And as said in the chat, Xavi is him. He is him this game. But will need to continue to be him if they want to come away with this one. Fluxx Esports will not let up. The underground push coming in. This could be huge. Although a first blood coming in and the pre-fires coming in as well. Fluxx were completely aware of this. Huge trouble now. They need to rotate out. But Lofty holding the lane. Gonna pick up 1. Gonna get out 2v3. An unsuccessful push. Bomb. Stranded. Underground. Slim with the pick. And Slim with the kill. 2v2. Massive. Fluxx gonna lock down this underground. Insufficient Funds gonna have to break in. A massive moment now for Insufficient. For Fluxx. Huge pivotal round. In a 2v2, time ticking down. Fluxx need the plant, or Insufficient need the plant. Lofty gonna take shots. Slim down the side. Slim's gonna go for 1. He can't get it though. Time running down. Lofty. Going to have to make the push. He got the spot, but the trades are surely going to be there. Fluxx played that clever, played together, sorted that round out, and are pulling this one back. Now 5-4. Things are going to be getting scary. Insufficient funds. Struggling here to pick up a map in a couple of rounds where Fluxx seemingly have found their rhythm. But will it be too little too late? Entering into round number 10. Pivotal round. Each of them are really at this stage. Who is going to pick up this first blood? Salty going underground. Straight away with the stun. Hectic with the first blood. Tried to take out the RCXD, but to no avail. Is that going to prove to be dangerous? I don't know what ended up happening with it. Salty gets the bomb down. Xavi with another kill. 4v2. Ben, round the side. Big kills. Now 3v1. Ben, he's the last up. The defuse coming in. Ben with another though. Ben, he's going to have to go huge. Unlucky though. The nade catching out at an unfortunate time and insufficient funds doing enough. And ladies and gentlemen, another search and destroy upset. As we see a 6-4 scoreline go the way of none other than insufficient funds. A shocking map to say the least that has torn this series wide open. Once again, could go either way. As here we are, folks. 6-4 to insufficient funds on map number 2, Protocol Search and Destroy, after Fluxx Esports made light work of them in the Skyline hardpoint. We'll be returning to Respawn, heading to Vault for the first time in this series. A map that surely suits Fluxx a little bit better. But honestly, I thought Protocol Search and Destroy was a map that would suit Fluxx big time. So things have really been shaken up here. Who's a fan of Vault? That's going to matter a lot going into the back end of this series. Going to at least be seeing a Hacienda hardpoint on this broadcast. And truly could go either way here. You're not going to want to go anywhere, folks, because this series truly is heating up. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Map number 3 on the way. Cheeky little bit of vault control. Should be an interesting one to say the least. Really has been shaken up after what we've seen in that map number 2. But we also did see the last time we saw this on broadcast, that search and destroy didn't matter for much in the end, as the team who liked the respawn locked in and got the job done. Could we see a similar scenario unfold in front of us here? Best of luck to both of these teams. A pivotal map. We load into it, and we're going to start on board with Salty. Or the side of Fluxx. Fluxx on the offense here. I want to be trying to get as many ticks as possible. Checkerboard a kill feed on the initial. Murphy getting pushed up, taken out by Lofty. He's going to try and get another, ultimately getting out with his life. Very well played there. As Salty still on the point, ultimately getting taken out by Slim, and so far been a successful defense from Insufficient Funds as they try to get pushed up, but Fluxx with a couple of kills now, getting pushed over to that B side where they do very much have it on lock. Surely going to be able to get at least one tick from this as they continue to pick up kills in a vital area, and as these B ticks go, they're going to quickly find themselves in a lot of trouble here. Insufficient Funds, they need to get their shots up quick. They need to get the gunny going. Salty watching around that mid, the capture coming in. Salty continuing to pop off. The B point continue to be captured, but Lofty saving aside a little bit here, getting that Overwatch position. Haha, he said Overwatch. There's Lofty checking up top, knowing there's danger there, ultimately going down the middle and getting taken out by Ben W. Tries to rotate back to B. Or A, should I say, ultimately getting taken out. 2 ticks and counting now on this B site as Fluxx are continuing to pressure on the point. But Slim went huge, but Ben W even huger. Big kills, continuing to pop off here, assisting his teammates as they are moving forward like a red tidal wave. Looking to get this one done. Ben W eventually taken out. Insufficient Funds doing just enough to hold on to this B. Lofty picking up another 2. Lofty continuing to pop off. 6 and 4 on the defense. Time running down now. 25 seconds left. Nearly 3 ticks gone. 2 at B, 1 at A. 13 to 11 on lives, but Fluxx now in a position where they have to run. They took a chance at this B, and it may be one that doesn't pay off for them. They can't make a count here, but credit to them. They're sitting on this A, and Insufficient Funds have seemingly completely backed off, and this is a risky strategy. Very, very risky to give up A at this point with the lives that are left, but are they giving it up? Maybe they were just leaving it late as they come in for the clear. Now going to push up into spawn. Lofty getting a little bit unlucky there with the timing. They're going to make their way back to A. They have to convert onto the point. Slim surely going to be able to get a pick here. Going to get really unfortunate timing though. 7 versus 4. The A-tick going through now. 7v3. A-tick is done. And Fluxx look like they've done enough to win this offense. It got shaky. It came down to a vital couple of kills. But unless there's a miracle to happen in a 6v2 here, it's looking like this is going to be all but done. The 4 stack onto B. No challenge coming in. All 6 ticks. And an offensive win for Fluxx Esports. That is a huge round for them and a huge moment. They played really well that round, but things looked a little scary, a little sketchy for a bit. But picking up the vital kills where they needed to at A, and ultimately the kills throughout, meaning they had the better lives situation. A harder offensive side to say the least, and Fluxx managed to come out on top with it. However, Insufficient Funds have proven that they can keep up with Fluxx and the kills in this map, and maybe we're looking to try and get an offensive round of their own. We are going to start on board with Xavi. Straight onto the point. They are sliding down low, and it looks like the play is to go very quick to B here as Hectic takes the first blood. And Murphy with 1. Xavi going to pick up 1 though. And Xavi has the reads for the second. Picks him up with the assistance of his teammate. Nearly getting another, but Lampy in with a big 2. But 1 tick gone at B. Decent start for Insufficient Funds. 26v26. Lampy with a huge kill. Had no right but Slim in there to clean up. And Xavi trying to get around the side, but getting a little bit of unfortunate timing from his perspective. Ben W now getting moved up cat down into the spawn side, and going to be able to do damage here potentially, because you look at Insufficient Fund, they're not moving up the map very quickly here at all, and unless they get a big wave of kills, they are going to get pushed back. Lampy picking up one, checkerboard a kill feed between red and purple, with ultimately Fluxx Esports ahead on just one life. Continuing to keep that lead. Xavi getting pushed in. 8 and 11. Not the strongest performance by him by any means, but we've seen what he can do. Picking up another huge kill now. A tick gone at A, of course. At this point, they really just need to win the offensive round if they want to stand a chance. We're going to get a second tick at least in this A, and another huge kill. Lofty with 2, Xavi with 1, and this has been a huge round, but Lampy trying to get in, get huge, but not going to happen, as surely that A is done, and they're looking to very quickly work on this B. The wave of kills coming in. Massive win from Murphy. That was huge. Murphy goes down there. Alarm bells are ringing for Fluxx, but Hectic and Lofty now combining for a couple of kills. Insufficient Funds are upping the pace. 10v14 with over a minute 28 to go. This is going to come down to lives, as Fluxx are going to have to start playing a little bit more sneaky around this point, as Lampy's surely going to pick up another at this point. Shots were a bit whiffy to begin with, but locked on eventually, as Lampy seems to have their number, but Slim popping off there. 9v12, only 1 tick on at B, 2 to go, 1 minute 10 left. Massive round for Insufficient Funds, as Slim is going to be there to pick up 1. That's a 3. Last one's just alive on the wide. Or was he taken out? I believe he was. He was taken out. So Insufficient Funds are sat in this point. They've got it locked down. 2 ticks gone. It's going to be up to Ben with the push, but he gets taken out by Xavi. B is gone. 4v12. And Insufficient Funds pull an offensive round back of their own. And they have shaken this one up. When an offensive round goes on round 1, things get scary. But to answer back with one of your own, like they just did there, this map, this series could go anywhere. Division 1, winners round 1 playoffs between Fluxx Esports and Insufficient Funds. If you're just tuning in, folks, it is currently 1-1 as we're in map number 3, and you can tell it's beginning to get very evenly poised between these two teams. And truly could and will go either way. Astute commentary there from myself, Sepp. The game will go either way. That's Michael Owen level commentary there, folks. As Murphy in with the stun. Doesn't do anything because of the trophy, but Ben in getting the kill. Ben managing to stay alive. Fluxx getting some early progress at A, but Slim and Xavi combining for a couple. Xavi with another. Killing spree of 5 now for Xavi. You know, who was it in the chat that said Xavi started a little bit slow? He's at the races now, on the 5 streak, picking up another before getting taken out. So managing to go on the 6 streak. Another push coming in. Ben W with 1. Ben W with 2. When Ben W really starts to pop off, he truly is a top level player. And that's something that can be said for all the boys on the Fluxx side. You know, when they have their moments, they have them like no other. But they just haven't been able to gel cohesively as a unit yet to make things easy for themselves, which has to be said. But still plenty of time to do so. 2.5 ticks gone and counting. 20 versus 21, make that 20 versus 19. Fluxx really trying to get themselves ahead in the lies, but no matter what they do, Insufficient Funds seemingly always have the answer. One of the most evenly poised checkerboard kill feeds I think I've ever seen on a control, but ultimately Fluxx are going to get this A eventually. 1 minute 35 left to go. 18v17 lives could very much come into the question here, as Xavi picks up another 2 before getting taken out, but Slim going to go on the chase to avenge his fallen brethren. Goes to check underground, picks up the kill through some hipfire finesse. Now hopping up high, getting the watch over mid. Fluxx Esports, they got to start from square one, start from scratch on this push. 13v12, 1 minute 8 to go. Slim just on the hold. And Fluxx, you take a look at your map. They're going on a route. They're going wide. Slim still trying to stay up. Xavi picked up another kill before getting taken out. Lampy went on a huge flank. That was to no avail. Lofty got it on lock, but eventually taken out by Murphy. who has done some really strong work with that AR from time to time, it has to be said. But Salty with another big kill. 9v8, 40 seconds left. Make that 8v8 completely tied up. Insufficient Funds desperately trying to hang on. Only 3 ticks gone as well for Insufficient Funds, which will be huge in this defense. But Lampy with a huge 2. The wave of kills have actually just gone the way of Fluxx Esports here. Now 7v4. Getting pushed onto this B. Maybe realizing the importance of ticks as well, as they're going to start trying to get them. Again, the lives are so evenly poised, but Fluxx just getting a vital wave of kills when they needed to. Make that 7v2 as Lampy picks up another, and it has to be said it was Lampy that went huge in that moment. 6v2, 2.5 ticks gone. Slim's going to pick up 1, but he's going to have way more than that to do. 5 ticks gone. Fluxx Esports take another offensive round. When it really didn't look like it was on for them at a certain point. It looked like it had stagnated. It looked like Insufficient Funds had done enough. But from there, it has to be said, Fluxx, they locked in and have won a vital round. Now they just need to nullify the push of Insufficient Funds, and they'll be 2-1 up in this series, and I'm sure feeling confident. This really feels like a swing map, the way this one's playing. It feels like the winner of this map is the winner of this series, folks. I don't know about you, but it's giving that vibe, is what I would say. And here we are, round number 4. Slim waiting for the chaser, doesn't come through. Eventually does. His patience waiting gets him the kill, but only the 1 before getting taken out by Ben W. Ben now going to go for the peek onto B, doing a good job of staying alive, trying to take out the trophy, and does so now, cooking an aid. Massive plays from Ben W here. It was really instrumental in stifling that B push there, but has it been stifled enough? It looks like it has. The clear comes in. Great plays from Ben to play his life. What other nights will we be casting? Says Cursed. I don't think I'll be casting tomorrow. I'm definitely not casting Wednesday. I may cast Thursday, but our proper broadcast for the playoffs begin on Friday. So this Friday we will be starting broadcast. We have scheduled streams with at least 3 games per stream running from Friday through all weekend and into Monday and Tuesday as well, where I believe it's either on Monday or the Tuesday the grand finals will be. So this was kind of an impromptu stream of the initial playoff games where we got teams to agree to compatible times, but the full streams of the playoffs will be happening starting this Friday, so you're not going to want to miss those. We're going to have hours and hours of games to show you. Should be a lot of fun. We get to see all these teams fight right to the very end, where there's only 1 winner in each division to come away with the respective prize pools. And Salty picking up a huge kill now to make it 15v16. A tick gone in each point, but that's not going to be good enough for Insufficient Funds, who are now chasing this game, as the 3 down means that they have to scramble towards a point, and they are getting very pushed back, spawning towards that P2 side now. And Xavi getting taken out. Lofty and Hectic though with a couple. Got to converge onto A. Last dish effort. 1 more wave of kills from Fluxx should secure them the map. That's a 2. Lampy nearly making it a 3, but Ben W in with the cleanup. 11v8. No time to get to another point unless it's scramble towards B, but they're not even going to be able to get that. And ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Bob is indeed your uncle. And your uncle is telling you that it finishes Fluxx Esports taking map number 3, 3-1 in a series that really threw us for a loop and could have gone either way. But Fluxx locking in a vital moment, picking up some huge kills. And that was the difference maker there for them in that one. Congratulations to them. 1 step closer in coming away with this series and sending Insufficient Funds down to the losers bracket. And folks, there you have it. Fluxx have won 2 maps, Insufficient have won 1, and we will be heading over to a Hacienda hardpoint, ladies and gentlemen. You will absolutely not want to miss it. So make sure not to go anywhere as we get prepped for this map. We'll be back in just a few moments. Ladies and gentlemen, we are just about ready to go for map number 4, where we are moving swiftly on to a Hacienda hardpoint. The second time we are seeing Hacienda crop its head, rear its head in COD Ireland. It's sort of inductory night, so to speak. The first time we see it. Who are going to be able to make the most use out of this new map? You know, best of luck to both of these teams as we load into this one. A huge moment for them both. Fluxx Esports just one round away from securing themselves in the losers final. Oh, I believe we actually do have a thing here. Let me see. I believe we do have a mistake here, unfortunately. We'll see if we can get the teams to do that for us. We do have a tech issue. Unfortunately, apologies for that, folks. Tech issue. I think it may have been something on my end, a switch that didn't go right. We will get that sorted as soon as possible. Should only be a second. Okay, folks, apologies for that. Was a little mistake on my end. I mishit the keys, had us in spectator instead of codcaster. You hate to see it. We could have persevered, but I wasn't about to put you through having to play in spectator mode in what is a vital game in the COD Ireland playoffs. Again, do give me a little bit of leeway, folks, for the love of God. I'm here casting, observing, and producing. I usually only do one of those three now, and even then, as some of you will probably tell if you see me cast other places, I struggle with just the talking from time to time. But nevertheless, we're going to get loaded into this game as quickly as possible. Again, on top of having to restart the lobby, we did indeed have another crash, but not to worry. We're going to get loaded up quick. We're going to get in. Probably be back in just a minute or two. So don't go anywhere. And Zappy, welcome in. You're just joining us. This is map number 4. As you'll be able to soon see on your screen, Hacienda hardpoint. It's 2-1 of Fluxx, so we'll be back in just a moment. My God, what a voice break. You can tell him after a flu. Be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, apologies for the technical issue on my end, but we are just about ready to get underway with this one. Map number 4. We're going into the Hacienda hardpoint. It'll be an absolute cracker, and it looks like we actually are in the callcast this time and not the spectator, so 1 point to Zep. Thank you very much. Best of luck to both of these teams here loading into this map for a pivotal moment, as I said prior to, for them both. we'll see who is able to come out on top, as we are going to start on board with none other than a player who's been popping off oftenly for Insufficient Funds. It's going to be Xavi. Moving up with the knife in hand. Has the pre-aim. Picks up one. We're going to quickly get shot in the back from what was a good setup from Fluxx to get a 4-man down. And now getting in the point. A very nice play from them to get the clean up before they play the point. An interesting strategy to bring to a hard point in this, because I'll admit, folks, even I'm pretty clueless to how to play the hard point in this now. So very much could be an education for us all in terms of how to play a hard point hacienda. That's Fluxx. Still the only ones who have gotten time, but Insufficient Funds changing that. Finally getting on the point. Trying to get that scrap, but Ben W with a huge 2, Lampy with 1, and the cleanup on P1, meaning Fluxx will get the remainder of the time. But who's going to be rotated the best over towards that P2? You can see in the map, it's Fluxx that have ended up getting there, but not through having spawns. It was a weird push by Insufficient Funds to try and get the scrap rather than rotate round the back. And now going to try and chase to push out the back here as Murphy picks up 1. We're getting taken up by Xavi. Now Slim going to try and slide in, but Lampy once again with a huge 2. Multiple occasions now he's picked up very important kills around the point, but very quickly going to get taken out there by Hectic, as Insufficient Funds now made their way around the back, meaning Slim could potentially orchestrate a pinch from the front, and he does, picking up 1, going to pick up the second. A nice double to get on the kill feed on the board, as it's 52-12. 15 seconds left. The hold is strong for Insufficient Funds on the scrap, but they are not really set up at all for the rotations, as Lofty's going to take out Murphy, and arguably that'll only benefit Murphy given the way these spawns will work, but it doesn't. Murphy still spawning all the way in the back of hold, meaning he'll take a while to rotate. But Insufficient Funds also not really rotated well. Neither team had really rotated spectacularly for this point, as it's now Lampy on the hold, sitting in the corner, continuing to do a good job here, picking up another kill. Lampy and Ben W have been absolutely popping off in this one. Continuing to do so, Lampy. Huge. Gonna pick up another. Make it another. Lampy on that 4 streak. Or CXD, of course, he can't use it. Can't use that on the respawn, unfortunately, but he has earned it. 9-4, absolutely popping off. It is Lampy Cam at the moment, as he's going to spot another. He's going to slide to the right, crisscross, make it a 5, make it a 6. Someone at their Weetabix. Lampy can't be stopped, as Fluxx go up 100 points to 30 now. Salty with 1, Lampy with another. He's on a 7. He's about to make it 8. Scratch that. Caster Curse. Slim taking him out. As now the push coming from Insufficient Funds. Fluxx quickly finding himself nearly 100 points in the lead, but that is a nice wave of kills for Insufficient Funds, who absolutely need to use this moment to get a clean hold of the rest of this time, or else they are in big trouble. They have let too much time go too early, and alarm bells should be ringing now. Xavi going to potentially get some god tier timing here. Going to be able to pick up 1. Will he be able to chase the second? Almost not knowing who to shoot at. He has the pistol. God, Xavi. IPOP Xavi. Oh my god. I can't shoot that straight with an AR. What's going on? Xavi going on a killing spree of 5 before eventually being taken out. Massive moment for him, leaving Fluxx still, I believe, about 60-70 points in the lead, but Insufficient Funds now can look at that as a lead that isn't insurmountable, thanks to the work of Xavi there, who absolutely popped off. Massive credit to him for doing so. I mean, a truly spectacular performance. Xavi continuing to try and help out, but to no avail. Xavi, of course, 13 and 11 as well. But you do just have Fluxx, who just seemingly as a unit, bar Murphy, they're just absolutely popping off. Lampy with 1, the team kill coming in as well. 4 Insufficient Funds. Ben with the pre-fire to no avail. Eventually getting taken out by none other than Xavi. Slim on the point. Lampy with 1. And Insufficient Funds are warming up now. A better P1 than before. Can they transfer that over to P2? Which they rotated for quite poorly last time around. And not great this time around, but set up slightly better to do something here. Ben picking up a huge kill. 16 to 10 Fluxx now with the hold. Ben going to pick up another. Eventually getting taken out by Xavi, who's found himself on the point and gets another in the process. Xavi has been a diamond here for Insufficient Funds as Lofty picks up one for quickly getting taken out by Ben. And you have to give a lot of credit to Insufficient Funds, even though they haven't been rotating particularly well for these points, as Ben W is making me dizzy there. Even though they haven't rotated particularly well, they are rarely getting clean holes. Fluxx always having the fight for it. And Ben trying to move around. Slib. Xavi picking up a couple. They're going to get the scrap. They need to get rotated on. Not even, because Lampy is there at the scrap. Chasing it. 166 to 85 now. Insufficient Funds are by no means rotated well either. And this may be it. If Insufficient Funds can't chain together two good hills, it is all but said and done. In a position now where they need to play virtually perfect hard point from here on in, as Fluxx see the finish line in sight surely now. 171 to 85. Lofty pushing off, knowing where the push is going to come from, but Fluxx being clever, waiting for their teammates. Murphy just going to hold off, slowing the play down here. Lampy going to pick up one. Lofty with one. And patient from both sides, but the patience paid off for Lofty, who's going to hold the pre-aim. Not going to be able to pick up the kill though, which is huge for Lampy being able to pick that up. That was absolutely massive. Lofty getting pushed on. Big three from Fluxx on the scrap, as Lampy has rotated over to the new point as well. Big kill coming in. Fluxx have the hold. 80 points ahead and very clean on this point. This is not looking good for the side of Insufficient Funds now, who can't get anywhere near even beginning to child this point. Xavi going to eventually make a push, but get taken out by a player who's absolutely on fire at the moment in Lampy. I mean, Lampy and Ben W, just hats off to them. They are playing next level. Ben W going to pick up one. Lofty taking him out. Checkerboard a kill feed here. But Lampy finishing off the last two. Minute in hill, 29 and 15 on a 5 streak. Continuing to look to pop off. Over 100 points in the lead now. The end goal is in sight. Surely they wrap it up within the next 2 points. As Murphy sits on the point, eventually getting taken out by the push of Lofty, Slim and Hectic. On for a measly 10 seconds of scrap. As we rotate back to P1, Ben W with another 2. Make that 3. Disgusting. I feel like they've only ever gotten kills in waves of 2 or 3, not leaving much for Salty and Murphy to be able to do. As Hectic, seen him slide into the corner and makes him pay. A big 2 for Insufficient Funds, who, look, if they can hold this P1 and rotate for P2, I haven't seen much crazier things, but I have seen probably a crazier thing in my time. So for Insufficient Funds, they can't give up, but they need to play this time. But very clever from Fluxx. They're not even playing to really hold the point. Fluxx actually play, it's sort of a lesson in how to play P1 for y'all. If they know there are players up, they don't touch the point. They wait for the push, they get the kills, then they touch the point. They reap the rewards they sow from the kills on P1 because there's just simply too many lanes of sight to watch to be worth pushing on first. But now, Insufficient Funds on the scrap once again. Nowhere near rotated. And you hate to say it if you're a fan of the Insufficient Funds sides, but this may be as far as they go in this map. They may be dropping down to the losers bracket right here and now. With Semtex coming in, nearly taking out his own teammate there. But Lampy picking up another. Lampy nearly on the 40 bomb as well. Ben W not too far behind him either. Dennis saying Lampy best Irish player of all time. He's staking a claim for that name. Ben W with 2. Lofty and Hectic. Ben W with 2. How often have I said that? It's every time he gets a kill. It's crazy. Man can't be stopped as Lampy picks up another. Lampy with 2. Lampy with 3, albeit a steal. Lampy trying to make it the quad. But Murphy taking the kill, getting the job done. And Fluxx Esports taking map number 4, 250 to 124 in an utterly dominant performance and a well-deserved win to say the least. They are a team that are staking their claim here. They want to be the team that wins it all. And even though there was a shaky search and destroy in there, for the most part, they look like a team that's going to be able to do some serious damage in this bracket. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. That is your score for the evening. Fluxx Esports coming away with the win 3-1. Congratulations to them and commiserations to Insufficient Funds, who ultimately did not have enough there as a unit to be able to take on Fluxx in this instance, but pulling out a very good search and destroy map, it has to be said, and making this series incredibly entertaining. But ultimately it was just too much for the side of Insufficient Funds to handle, and Fluxx absolutely popping off, looking like a team as I just said will be able to do